very sick. She was nursing. She was about what, 11 months old. She was 15 or 13 months. And we prayed. We could lose this girl. She
Mm.
was drastically dehydrated,
Yeah.
vomiting,
As a
diarrhea.
nurse.
You
I
knew.
knew.
Yeah,
Knew the
that's
I
signs.
it.
knew either
Okay.
the Lord would, either God would heal her.
Mm. Mm. Wow.
There wasn't any other
And God
possibility.
did. I mean, we had taken one medical book with us. It was Where There Is No Doctor.
Wonderful book.
And,
Okay.
I recommend that book for anybody going anywhere.
Yeah, across the
and
street.
it had a rehydration drink in it.
Ah,
Now,
okay.
Christy had been nursing,
Mm.
from
Mm-hmm.
but she wouldn't nurse. She wouldn't take a bottle. She wouldn't do anything.
And literally, the soft spot on her head was sunken.
And her eyes.
Please.
Wow.
And she couldn't even sit up by the time we got to Kaliningrad.
Mm.
I placed her on the floor and she could not.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't sit. She had to lie down and she moved.
Mm.
And it's very scary.
And God,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
God used that book, that rehydration drink. One bottle, she took it down and kept it. She filled another one, she took it down and kept it.
Wow.
And her eyes lit up a bit, and we knew we had a daughter again.
Well, these are the episodes, and like you're saying, it could happen anywhere.
Anywhere.
And,
Could happen anywhere.
we tend to, run to the facility, the hospital,
Yes.
or, whatever is available medically. And that's our frame of reference. And who would ever think that we would come to a time here in America where literally the responsibility of your health falls on your lap now. I mean, there's just no
Mhm.
question about it. So, um, yeah, tell that story about you walking through Russia with your children and how the Russians perceived that. Yeah, you know.
So the typical Russian family at this time in Kaliningrad was mother, father, and if there was a child, it would be a child soon after, the first year or two of marriage,
Okay.
and then mostly no other children. This
Hmm.
was in Kaliningrad.
Okay.
And if there was a second child, that was 7 years later when the first one goes off to first grade, and then they start all over again.
That's the rhythm.
Yeah, but I was walking down the street. I probably was shopping, and I had Daniel in the stroller, the youngest.
Yeah, Daniel was born in Kaliningrad.
Okay, there
And
you
that's
go.
the story also.
Yes.
David on one side holding the stroller, Christy's on the other side holding the stroller, and a man he's coming the other way, and he stops dead in his tracks. Of course, it's all Russian. Woman, where are you going with all of those children?
Mhm.
And I said, this is my family. These are our children.
Wow. Yeah.
It's like,
You're not running a nursery.
yeah, exactly. So, everywhere you go, there's going to be different cultural
True,
things to
true,
get
true.
used to.
And what you were saying, Pastor, was like your children actually were door openers.
Oh,
Is just,
Very much
tremendous
so.
story.
okay.
It was, I mean, we're called as a family, so we
Okay.
go as a family,
Hmm.
and children should not be a reason not to go to the
Come on.
mission field. They
Okay.
are. We found them to be a tremendous asset because people, we're strangers, but man, kids aren't threatening at all.
That's right. That's
Man,
right.
they see a child, and they've got a child. Maybe, boy, all of a sudden, those kids can play together.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
especially
that's so
Russia.
good.
Russians love children. And we frequently did our evangelism and meeting people in the parks. Because if a person is in the park,
Hmm.
they're not hustling to go to work or do this or do that.
Yeah,
They are
yeah.
relaxing.
Yep.
So we have our kids and we go to the play area. And, we would very quickly start talking to other They also learn Russian so much faster than we do.
Oh, come on.
Oh man,
You know.
and
All right, here is God's way of humbling us.
Oh,
oh yeah.
okay.
We
Yeah.
send our, was he 4 or 5? That's
Oh,
son.
I would take him to the store.
That's his son,
He was
which is
he
Russian
was
for kindergarten.
he was 5.
All right, so we
Okay.
send our 5-year-old to kindergarten. At first, he doesn't like it at all
He
because,
hates it.
yeah, because he can't speak with the kids. But
Oh, wow.
pretty
Yeah.
soon, he learns how to pick up language. He goes, grr, and all the Russian boys say, medved, medved, bear,
Bear,
bear.
bear.
Okay? You know,
He
I-
would create a scenario
Is that right?
where he could figure out what their reaction was, and he would learn the language.
in a few months,
A few months.
he would say, David, we need to go to the store. Come with us and translate for us.
Because in the stores had all of
Well,
the
yeah.
products. You couldn't
Yeah.
just take it off the shelf.
It was behind the
You had to ask
Oh,
for
no.
it, and you had to
Okay.
know what
Okay.
you
I
were
would have thought you
looking
were going
at.
to tell me that, the sign was in Russian and then,
Well,
it's like,
no,
what
there's
does that
that too.
mean?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of
But
it.
he could do that,
Wow.
and we couldn't.
Yeah,
Wow.
and talk.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Here we
anyway,
go with our 5-year-old son who's our translator.
yeah.
Well, fast forward, that is a tremendous asset, I mean,
And today
yeah.
he has a business with 2 other
Russian
Russian
speakers.
speakers, and they rattle along in
Come on.
Russian.
Come
All
on.
day long here in Baltimore.
Yes.
Yep, yep.
Yes. Yes.
So got used to it.
So, wow. Well,
I think it was a great asset to the children to be
okay.
growing up seeing various cultures.
True.
Seeing the Russian culture, seeing the Kyrgyz culture, and recognizing one thing: life's not all about me.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that's what
Which seems to be the cultural emphasis in America. But it's not. It's not the life in Russia.
Well,
or Nepal.
I don't know where I got the statistic, and it might be a little old, but I think I heard it like this, that 16% of the world's population lives as we do here in the West, where, you can at midnight go get a Slurpee out of,
Right.
7-Eleven, whereas everybody else, if they got their meal, they're very content, and
Yes.
and that's a good thing because and there's no assurance absolutely you're going to eat tomorrow, or if you even had food where there's refrigerate. Well, refrigeration requires electricity, and so it just goes on, like you were saying about the water in Alaska of all places. You had to boil it,
Yes,
you know
absolutely.
and so this whole process, and you're so spot on with that, because I've told folks, I said, you know what, if it's possible, you and any of your children get off the continent,
Oh,
get
absolutely.
off the continent.
Definitely.
I think it should be a requirement for high school graduation.
Seriously, we talked about this.
Give
Yeah,
them.
right.
Everybody
Here's a
should have a
plane
little
ticket.
time.
Like, see
Third
you
world,
later. Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
you don't have to go so far.
You, you'll love this. When we were in,
Yeah, right.
Oh, that was
he goes to
Kyrgyzstan.
China with Christy as a
Okay.
graduation present to
Our
take
daughter,
her to
Christy,
go
she's
see
16 years
some of no 17,
Okay.
to see some of the Olympics.
Okay.
in Beijing.
Wow. Wow.
And we go overland.
Anyway, while he does that, was I getting surgery or something? And Daniel was left. He's the youngest.
Wanted to stay
Okay.
because we got church camp going.
Gotcha.
He was sent to church camp, but Daddy, he's frugal, sends him with just enough money to get
Transport,
the
all that.
transport
Sure.
out.
Okay.
And come back.
But not a bunch more to waste on candy.
But this particular camp, 125 people showed up, and they expected maybe 80.
Okay.
So they didn't have
Not
the
enough.
resources.
Mm.
Many of them were from Uzbekistan
Yes.
who had just managed to cross the border into Kyrgyzstan. Didn't have a
Wow.
lot of
So
finances.
anyway, what
Mhm.
happened was Daniel and his buddy, they were all 13, right? They were about 13. They decided that because there was so much need for food,
Oh my.
they could
Okay.
figure out how to get some money
Mm-hmm.
and pay for their own food, leaving 2 more spots for people.
Gotcha.
So this is what they do. The lake is, they have this thing where people, no, it's
No.
even funnier.
Oh,
They
okay.
have something called glina, which is a very
Clay.
thick clay,
Wow.
and it's actually, they slather it all over their
For
bodies.
cosmetic
and
purposes?
Cosmetic purposes.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out it probably has some kind of.
Anyway,
We won't get into that. But so Daniel goes out to the end of the pier, dives down, finds a glina deposit, and hands
Okay.
buckets.
up to his friend, Jeff Long, and they collect all this glina, and then they walk the beach,
Sell it.
and they sell the glina to people, and they get enough money to buy their own food and also have money to get back to Bishkek.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Kyrgyzstan.
Wow. What a hustle that
It's
was.
it's the equivalent
Yeah.
of selling ice cream to the Eskimos. That's
Oh, okay. I
really.
mean, no big
So,
market, right? I mean,
No?
but cute kids, who's going to turn them down?
Yeah, he's been a
interesting,
salesman all his
interesting.
life.
I'm getting this, like I'm hearing this, he could sell me some Gleaner. Hey, you want some? Yes, thank you very much.
But that also worked, we should
That's
probably
wonderful.
get to the team aspect. Our team did not have many children.
Okay.
The church wasn't
Now, what,
Kyrgyzstan.
what part of the world was this now?
Leningrad had 0 children except for ours.
Yeah.
0. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, initially. So everybody just thought it was great to have the kids as part of any kind of outreach that we did.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was fun. They had a very unusual upbringing.
Well, so now,
But they
and
learned Russian.
they still, they've got it. It's not that they learned it and left it, but they
Right.
they,
And
And
they
they
got
learned
it.
a love for souls.
This is
Because,
the thing. Yeah.
yeah.
When you talked about, the one of the blessings of being in another culture, in another part of the globe, and learning that, these individuals, so yeah, different language, different clothing, different culture, different money, different
Family
food.
structures.
Yeah. But essentially souls.
Absolutely.
And now you begin to see the commonality of humanity, what the real essence is and why Jesus Christ came, not as First John 2 2, not just for our sins, but for the sins of the whole world. And how you could teach that theologically, okay, and that's okay, but to step into where then that becomes your frame of reference for from that point forward is like a tremendous blessing. And so I'm sure they've said thank you very much.
Actually, they
Yeah,
have.
yeah, okay.
Because a lot of their friends here in the States didn't have that kind of
Mm-hmm.
experiences, those experiences. And one thing they learned was that it wasn't just all about the American way.
Right, right.
Right? That you can eat with your fingers in Kyrgyzstan, you can travel without suitcases.
It's so funny because when you said eating with your fingers, decades ago, I found myself it was the meal time, and so they brought out the meal, which was an entire chicken, uh, uncut, and then potatoes, and vegetables around in a circle, and I'm sitting here, and I'm like this table, and I'm thinking like, okay, and there's, maybe eight of us around, and then and I'm thinking, okay, so how am I supposed to eat this? And I had to watch, so some kind of way they got the bread and they could, break off some of this chicken. Well, let me just tell you, I was chickenless that entire meal. I could not get get any chicken off of that. That bird was staying, So, but it was just delightful to think that, yeah, and this was how they would live. Now, let's back it up a little bit, okay? Because when people think about team life, okay, they sometimes they think of not privation, but maybe the word would be better that the adjustments. Okay, now maybe for your children because they grew up, that they grew up in the perspective. But was it at any point in time that you found the adjustment based on? Because I mean, besides Russia, Kyrgyzstan, and where else have you been?
Well, Russia for 6 years,
Okay,
Kyrgyzstan 8 years,
8.
and our kids were back in the States on their own. And
Okay,
after that, we went to Nepal for 8 years, and we're now in Romania.
okay,
But,
Back to
but we
Romania
did manage to come back
for
okay.
convention
for conventions
every year.
You know what?
I still don't understand that because we never had the money in the bank
Never. Yeah,
when
but
we decided to come back
You know,
for convention. It was never there.
I see, convention as just an integral part of my spirituality. It's not it's not like well, it is a volitional decision, but I love what you're saying as far as the fact that it was on your spiritual calendar. And pardon me, it helped to facilitate being abroad because you could come back and almost like,
even more. In addition, particularly when we were in Russia,
mm,
we had to get to Europe.
mm,
We were on a very small team. And Russia has an aggressive atmosphere. I mean,
mhm.
we could feel the change in atmosphere when we crossed
Wow.
the
Yeah, that's
border.
right. Yeah.
When we went from
Isn't that
Russia
something?
into
Wow.
Poland, we could
Wow.
feel the
Hmm.
difference in the
Hmm.
atmosphere.
And going, it got more and more so. I mean, it was quite a travel when we took those kids.
Right.
And as we went from, yeah, which country? I guess into Poland, you could already feel there was, it
So
was,
much
Okay.
different.
yeah,
Wow.
from where we had been in the West, and then from Poland into Russia.
Lithuania and Lithuania to Russia. But
Very different. At any rate,
I think our kids pick up on that.
I
And
don't doubt
I
it.
think
I mean, it's a spiritual issue,
I think
actually.
we live our life unto the Lord and we just bring our kids with us.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know, because
Hmm.
they didn't feel deprived at all.
they,
But there
they
were
thought they
other
were rich.
Yeah.
and they were.
They always
They.
thought they
Yeah.
were rich because they lived in a country where
Everybody,
everybody else didn't have money.
Yeah. Wow.
So they thought we were rich.
Hmm.
however, when we were in Kyrgyzstan
Okay.
and the last couple years of their schooling, some of them went to a Christian school, international school, in Bishkek, and some of the very few
Wow.
of the
Yeah.
foreign children
Hmm.
were being raised in their own little bubble of the culture from their home, their parents' home country.
Their parents
Hmm.
were largely missionaries, but they were raising their children with a kind of, oh, it's too bad that you can't experience growing up in America or Canada
Germany,
or Germany or
Interesting,
and
interesting.
they imported all of
Come on.
the worst of
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
America. Yeah, whatever.
The,
So
the
That's
kids lived in
wild.
a bubble. The kids
Yeah.
could not take a taxi. They
most
couldn't
of
take a bus.
most of
They
them could
couldn't
not
speak
speak Russian,
any of the
and
language.
they couldn't speak
But
Kyrgyz.
see, this is the thing that I think missions, we could back it up. Missions minded, the mentality, it begins here in America. The fact that the Western Church, evangelical Christendom, as we call it, does okay on the great commandment, to
Right,
love the Lord
right.
thy God all of it. But we fall flat on our face when it comes to the Great Commission. We don't go and we stay in the bubble, whatever that might be. And, so who's that across the street? I have no idea who that is, and I quite
Mhm.
frankly don't want to. So that's very interesting that, it would be that way outside of America, and that as if that was desirable to have.
Well,
They
it
asked,
was great.
they
Yeah.
asked the kids and the Christians in that school, the
Hmm.
international school, where do you consider home? And there were just two sets of kids. That's it.
Wow.
Everybody else said, oh, back in this country or that
Canada
country. Or,
Hmm.
Australia or whatever, where their parents came from.
Sure.
But
most
we
things.
were really thankful that, and it had to do with the way the kids were being brought up.
Hmm.
We didn't feel that our kids were getting any less. And I don't
Right.
think they weren't deprived.
No,
They were
no.
having some amazing experiences. And this
Friends
other
with the
I
girl,
kids
was going
around
to
them.
say, yeah, they
you
have
know,
they have an friendship that is international. I mean, if you were to think, and people do, that all of these cultures and nationalities and tongues have come to America. You can find, there's
yep,
a
yeah,
tremendous
yes, sir.
Ethiopian community down in Silver Spring area.
Mhm.
There's Hispanics in this area. So, but even in the fact that they are in proximity doesn't mean that you're going to establish relationships
Right.
and friendships. And
And
so, wow.
we're thankful.
You're poorer for not using
Yeah,
them.
I'd have to say so.
Well, that's another thing. I call us Americans
Hmm.
poor in one sense.
Well, yeah,
We
because
are very inept in foreign
monosyllabic.
language.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You go anywhere in Europe and people speak 4, 5, 6 languages, no
Mm,
problem.
hmm, hmm,
And
hmm.
they can get along with all those
Yeah,
different people, right?
yeah.
So for our kids, we were very thankful that they could learn what
Well,
was Russian because we pretty
yeah.
much were in the Russian speaking
Well,
class.
I've said, I think God did me the favor, if I had to learn this language as a as a second language, I think I would not do so well. I'm barely getting it now. But I love this idea, where you're saying, what we lacked nothing. And yet I know that someone could say, you know, and I said this to one other missionary that we had interviewed. Okay, so how many years has it been that
That we've
you,
been on the field.
yeah,
About
I mean,
25.
25 years. Okay. And here's the question. I mean, it's not my question, but here's the question that can come up. So, okay, like, what do you have to show for this? Like, what is it that, I don't see much, and this is the
You're
idea
looking
that,
for.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. What
okay.
are you looking for?
Well, it took me to Revelation 2:17. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says, what the Spirit says unto the churches. Okay. And and then he talks about, and I will give him hidden manna. Hidden. It's hidden in you. But I see it in you because like you were saying, depends on what I'm looking for. All right. And when people think of they have a materialistic orientation towards life, it just reminds me of a bumper sticker I saw one time on the back of this car, and it said, "He that has the most toys at the end wins." And I thought, come on, like
The,
like
That,
Yeah, right. Who lives like that? But somebody got a,
Oh,
put it on a rather expensive car too. And I thought, okay, so when you die, who gets your toys? You
And
know,
what do you have after you die?
that's right. That's exactly correct.
Pastor, I'd like to share another riches
Hmm.
that our
Good.
children saw. Russia, and there's a brother and a sister playing, and we had a piece of candy to the child, and immediately break it and give it after their buddy.
Wow. Wow.
or if there's more than one,
Wow.
They break it to all their
everybody.
friends, so everybody gets one. And I want our kids to grow up. That's how you live.
Yes.
And actually, I
And
Yeah.
they
think
did.
we have seen that. But the Russian kids, it was normal because it was very little at that time.
Hmm.
We were sent by John's mom. Okay, she had great ideas for giving gifts. She sent tennis balls that had
Like
a tail,
attached.
multicolored tail attached. So you
Okay.
throw the ball and you get this almost kite
Oh,
thing.
really?
Yeah, it
Cool.
flutters through the air.
Yeah.
We got that package
A
and it was like,
tennis ball.
wow.
Yeah.
The three kids go out, each one with one of the balls. There's a whole, there must have been 30 kids out playing. And they immediately, they see the balls and they go, 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. So they line up, no adults, mind
Yes.
you.
Yes.
They line up in two sets, three sets of kids,
Hmm.
facing each other,
Yep.
6 little lines. And they figure out,
Toss the ball to the other guy and go to the end of the line.
and it was amazing to watch this.
See, I mean, if you didn't tell me that, I wouldn't imagine, in a
Imagine
dog's
American
day
kids
that,
doing
yeah,
that.
I would see that out here, or anywhere for that matter. And yeah, the fact that that reality, and not only, some kind of way it's instilled in them, but you witness that and you value that. You
Yeah,
see the value of
Absolutely.
that. So,
yeah,
well, here's how we can go. Okay, yeah, taught community or thinking that way, but not communism, but taught to just be generous with what you have.
yeah,
Generous.
yeah.
Um, whereas, here the tendency is, selfish.
Selfish.
Mine, mine,
Selfish,
mine,
yes.
mine.
Yeah, yeah. There's a children's storybook, and I remember this because I read it to my kids, Mr. Gimme Hands. And it was this creature that had like, three arms on either side, and all he was about was gimme, 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 And yeah, that is like the mindset. But you know what? So here's the gospel, and here's the reason why you go. But let's talk about the reason why you stay.
Stay there on
Yeah,
the field.
yes.
It's the people. It's the
Thank you.
souls.
Okay,
Without a doubt,
okay, okay.
without a doubt. And it
Hmm.
didn't say to us which
Yes.
country you
Wow.
fall
Yeah,
in
yeah.
love with
Wow.
the people. And you get to a place where you go, oh, yes. It becomes, this is where we are supposed to
Oh,
be.
okay.
I mean,
Interesting. Interesting.
so
Because I just thinking that some people might think, well, I need to fall in love with the people before I go. However, that can happen,
it can happen.
Yeah. Hmm.
But I mean, honestly, we started as new believers in our
Yes.
teens,
Yes.
young
Wow.
teens,
Okay.
individually.
And
Mhm.
very little teaching. Godly
Okay.
teaching, other teaching.
So I know very few other people reaching out to the
Yes.
all around the world
Yes. Yes.
became a believer and on the same day heard that they were supposed to be a missionary.
True.
That happened to both of us.
In different states,
In
different
different
years.
states.
Wow.
Different,
Okay.
it doesn't there
Yes,
were
I
so many
understand. Yeah.
different missionary stories,
Hmm.
and I've never heard that particular one.
Mm.
But God uses
Thank you.
any of us, anywhere. He
Yes.
uses
Yes. Even me.
you. Absolutely.
I mean, the question arises because there's one or two attitudes that a person can take. Either they discount themselves to dismiss themselves. I'm not qualified. I'm not this. I'm not that. I don't know this. I don't know that. Or I am, this is beneath me to have to talk to, this is natural human viewpoint. Yeah, of course. But I mean, it's like when we think of, you want to go to those people because those people really need the gospel. I am, Mr. Self-Sufficient, and I've got a life, okay, and I've got things to do, places to go, people to see, and that's what I mean about, doing what you're doing is a little bit below
I
my pay scale.
think most missionaries,
Okay.
ones that we know,
Yeah.
find out when they go to the mission field, the very first mission field is themselves.
Thank you.
Absolutely. The first place we went,
Yeah. Okay.
when we were in Thailand for 2 months, July and August, I recognized I was very self-centered
Hmm.
and very. I was like, God, you're gonna let me die here because I don't handle heat.
Oh, okay.
So what
Yeah.
am I doing in Thailand in
Hmm.
summer, July
Sure.
and August?
Right.
You know, hanging over a fan, praying that I won't die here, and he's doing fine.
Okay.
He
Yeah. There you go.
moisture,
Whatever.
whatever, doesn't bother him. So I said, well, God, if you want me here, I'll stay. If you don't want me here, you can,
You say
I
thank
can
you
die
very
here,
much. Oh,
whatever.
oh, okay. But now this is after how many years?
No, that was our first.
We were married in
Okay.
February of '85. This is
Oh,
August,
okay.
July, August of
All right.
'85.
85. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
our parents weren't able to be at our wedding in Alaska,
Mm-hmm.
so they had a reception for us, and they told all their friends, "Don't give John and Diane gifts. Give them money
Give them
instead, because
cash.
they
Yes,
will not be able to carry anything
that's true.
over
That's
anywhere."
it. That's right.
So they did that,
Wow.
and
Hmm.
we went to Thailand.
Okay. So now you're discovering, as you're saying, that you are
We're wretched.
the
Wretched,
most,
absolutely selfish. Oh my
and
gosh.
who is like Saul of Tarsus? Who could knock him off his? It would take God.
Yes.
And this is the thing. So even someone says, well, I can humble myself. Well, yes, I mean, humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, and in due season he will lift you up. But we're waiting for the due season. Lord, can we
Come
have this
on, this is
now? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that is very good that you're touching on this, because that can happen in Bible school. That can happen,
Mm-hmm.
on a local level here, on a team here. That could happen in a service. You could be sitting there hearing the word of God, and it's like there's this tremendous, oh my gosh, does anybody else see this? And because that's the work of grace. And I love to think that everything going forward was merely just the preparation for even right now, this moment. We don't look, our faith is not through the rearview mirror, like I remember when God did this, then God did that. Okay, what is he doing right now? Well, I say all of that, the blessings, the horror stories, the difficulties, the losses, and the gains all funnel right down to today. And so, Lord, I can wake up today and without proclaiming myself, but I am a missionary. I am
Yep.
a team
Mhm.
member. I am, who
Mhm.
Christ has made me to be. And that is part of the hidden manna.
That's not by going overseas.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right here, right
Hmm.
now. I mean, if you're not a missionary
Wow. Okay.
here,
Hmm.
going across the ocean is not going to change that.
That's right.
Yes. Geography is meaningless if it's not already settled in your heart that
Yeah.
you're going to live before God here.
I'd like to add that there's a real blessing in having the covering of the ministry.
Talk about. Let's talk
Oh
about
yeah.
that.
We were going to go to, we people were coming back saying, well, Soviet Union, 1991, you know,
Mm,
Soviet Union's just fallen, and just falling off the tree. And it was
mm,
very, very true. I mean,
mm,
that when sometimes we get on a tram, which had two cars, like a little train.
mm,
Diane would get on one car, and I'd get on another one because as soon as we pulled out tracks, every hand on the car
Every
went up.
wow.
They
Wow.
all wanted to go.
They didn't care
Hmm.
what
Mm.
they knew we were foreign.
Yep.
So whatever we had, they wanted to
They
see
wanted
what it was.
information because they were so information.
73 years
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
crushing,
yeah, yeah,
oppression. Wow,
and
that's so good.
and great. It was painful.
They were starving.
Wow.
Yeah.
One man said, "I gave my life to communism, and now I have nothing."
Hmm.
It was in its like 70s, but
Yeah, right, right,
yeah.
right.
So, yeah.
And also just talk about
Going
Yeah,
on that
while you
just a little
find your
bit.
page. Yeah.
Well, we were to go. I took my free flight on Northwest Airlines across the ocean. You know, I loved working for an airline, and then I went to several different places in the former Soviet Union, and came back, and God had not put a particular place on my heart.
Hmm.
I mean, I thought when I'd go, like walk into a city or something, this is where you're supposed to be, and
Okay,
maybe it works that way for some people,
okay, yeah.
um, Um, I came back here and I talked with our missions director, Pastor Schaller, and he said, "Well, tell me what your gifts are."
Hmm.
And we talked about, how we like to reach out and such like that. And he was in charge of Budapest, and he said, "Do me a
Hmm.
favor." He said,
you are church planters.
your
Okay, yeah,
gifts are
yeah.
not the kind of gifts that are going to be useful and prosper and have lots of expression in Budapest. It's a very established church.
Wow.
We need people who have organized and have gifts in
Yeah,
children's
yeah,
ministry or
yeah, yeah,
whatever,
that's right,
and we're not very well organized. But
yeah.
He has a gift of understanding.
Yeah. Okay, I like that,
Yeah, he does.
so so I think part of the consideration about this team life, we had this wonderful covering. We had a pastor that was
True.
honest with us,
Hmm.
and said, here, he said, I've seen people go to where their gifts are not used and sort of die on the
They
vine.
do, they do.
Go where your gifts fit the situation and the team, the people.
That and where you have to go by faith, not by facility, not by natural ability. Oh, I can do this, so it must be the right thing. But I want to close with this thought because this is kind of front and center in my own thinking, and I've had conversations with others about it. So you have done this. Okay, you can say to someone, I have done the missionary thing. I've been to, X number of countries. My kids grew up on the mission, da 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 da. You got the story. Okay. Um, what do you, how can I say this? It's important that that's true. And I find that there's some people who say that and then they said, I'm good. I'm done. I mean, not that, well, maybe they're not quitting God. They're not quitting God, but they're not open to any more adventures, I would say.
I want to be used by God till the day I die.
Yes, but let me ask you, I mean, has not that thought ever crossed your mind?
I would,
About
I'd rather
the
die in the
future.
saddle.
Yes.
We are,
Okay.
we are,
Okay.
we are
A little different.
I
and
love this.
I
Okay.
have,
I hear you.
I have the gift of understanding.
Okay. Yes.
I, in more recent years, I've had a few health issues.
True.
He always says, I want to die in the saddle.
Hmm.
But I'm thinking, if it ever happened,
If I
which
die
would
in the
be
saddle,
Oh,
unusual,
okay.
which would be unusual because he's in really good shape.
Okay. All right.
Would I want to stay in whichever country
Oh,
I
okay.
was at
Right.
that point.
Right. Right.
I used to say, of course, but now we have grandchildren
Come on. Yeah.
and they're each precious, but they don't get to see us a whole lot.
True.
Um, I'm of the opinion that we are each called for whatever time, in whatever place, with whatever people.
Hmm.
And just because I'm a missionary, I can be a missionary wherever I am. Baltimore
Domestic.
needs missionaries.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Needs
Yeah.
and
people
I agree.
reaching out.
Yeah.
Needs people visiting people in nursing homes. Needs people working with young children. There's a lot of things that we can do. It doesn't have to be in this,
In that
in that
scenario,
country or
that's true.
whatever.
That's true.
We didn't know we were going to Romania.
Hmm.
And between Russia and Kyrgyzstan, we were in the U.S. for 3 years.
Yeah.
Between
Hmm.
Kyrgyzstan and Rome and Nepal, we were in the U.S. for 5 years.
Because of my heart
Yeah.
problem.
And we are missionaries. You know, I mean,
Yes.
we're
True.
called wherever we are.
I guess that is the so, and it should be the so. But I like what you were bringing up. You know, it's like um, some of us are in the phase where we are now entering the caregiving for our
You're
parents.
right.
Okay, and so that's kind of, in a way, domesticated, or at least, the fact of it is that now I have to have that in my consideration and in
Amen.
my thinking,
Amen.
Right.
and I love what you're saying. It's like it's all good, there, over there, or over here.
Mhm.
It's
God
it's
can
it's not
use
over
us.
yet.
Right.
You
And
know.
honestly, with the little ones coming up,
Hmm.
God, God can use us however He wants
Yeah.
to use us.
I
And
I
I'd like to just address that to
Sure.
the audience, whoever that is. It doesn't matter what you call yourself.
Hmm. That's true.
Or what God.
God, what country you're in, if you're in the good old US of A, it doesn't really matter
Mm.
where you are.
Mm.
It's who you are
It's who
in
you are.
Christ.
I just know. I mean, I would love to have you guys as my grandparents.
You're so
Because I mean, the stories, I mean, and this is the impartation factor,
yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
and that the treasure that you have experienced in your walk with God becomes a treasure chest that
Mhm.
others can now open and partake of and
Yeah.
receive from. And yeah, that can happen just about anywhere on the globe.
Yes.
And awesome, awesome. No, thank you. And so, just you're looking to embark to go where, so these folks can pray.
Oh, absolutely. In the
Okay,
missions office. Yeah. We're going back to Romania,
okay,
and I never wanted to be in Europe, but God's teaching my heart,
okay.
saying that there's a great need there, just like there is here. Romania is far and away mostly Romanian Orthodox,
Hmm.
and so they have a foundation that there's a God in it there, and that Christ is the Son of God.
Hmm.
For so many of them, they're in churches that they don't have a personal relationship with
Right,
Christ.
Right.
right.
So there's a great
Hmm.
and
And we have the vision, um,
And
Romanian
Romanian, yeah,
speaking, in
right.
part because Cluj is very much a university.
Oh,
It's
okay,
the second
okay.
largest city in Romania,
We
Mm-hmm.
and
met
has
him.
a lot of foreign students.
We have a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
He's not yet a believer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still Muslim. And his good friend is still Hindu.
Mm-hmm.
And we get together with these folks fairly frequently. And
We're investing. He calls us his family in Romania.
See, see.
you just don't know.
Well, see, it's what you're saying. It's relationships, and if I'm not, so narrow-minded in my perception of who this person, this is a human being, you could add all the other tags, Muslim, Hindu, whatever culture, economic status, you can add all those tags, but
Yeah.
they fall aside very quickly,
Sure.
and they wake up every morning having the same need, for a personal relationship with you. Well, we'll pray for you. And thank you,
Oh,
family. Can you
Hey.
be my grandparents? Oh boy, and thank
That's
you,
fun.
friends, for
That's
being
fun.
with us. We'll be
Yeah.
back next Monday with I think we're going to be talking about team friction. Something that happens on every team, because why? We've got human beings on there. But
Could I add one more thing that
sure,
we didn't get to? Whatever team you're on, even if it's at work or whatever,
okay,
prayer is
thank you.
the most
Yes,
important thing. And
yep.
if there's any friction in family, with the kids,
Mm-hmm.
at
Mm-hmm.
work,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
neighbor, pray for that
Yeah,
person.
the
And pray for
oil.
yourself to have God's mind and
Sure.
heart for others.
it's hard to hold a grudge against somebody when you're
That's true.
Wow, wow, yeah. That's a very good point. And we'll end with that one. Thank you, friends, so much for being with us. And hopefully, Lord willing, we'll see you next Monday.